Kesselman here. It's Tuesday Night Live. Hope everyone's doing super duper. I'm gonna close the door here where I'm at, because actually my place here is right around new construction. So you can hear the trucks pulling in and out. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone's had a fantastic beginning of the week. Gearing up for an amazing rest of the week. Got some great stuff for you all here tonight. So get ready, settle in. Hey, let me know where you're from, Let me know where you're from. Love to hear that. We got Marietta in the house with Brad. What's up, Shane? What's up, Eugene? Eugene. We might be heading up to Chicago here, and we're going to need to grab a drink. So Kansas represented. Buford, what's up, Christine? Robert, Denver. Crossville, Tennessee represented in the house. John Carnegie. What's up, Drew? What's up, Paul? Wichita in the building. We're going to be getting started here in just a couple minutes. So settle in. Got some super duper stuff for you guys today. Knocking things off my to-do list. What's up, Keith? What's up, David? DC in the house. Englewood in the house. What's up, Tom? What's up, Archie? Hey, Paul. We got. What's up, George? How are you? Little Rock. We got Janice representing Detroit. What's up, Erica? A lot of people are here tonight. Just a minute or two past 7. We're going to be getting started here in just a minute or so. Hope you all are doing great. I was just mentioning to you guys, like last week when I was doing this, I was just pointing out like how much darker it's getting. And it's like literally by the week. I remember 7 o'clock, there'd be sunshine beaming through the windows and stuff like that. Now it's 7 o'clock. It's starting to get dark. By the time we're done here in a little bit, it's going to be like dark here in Atlanta. So what's up, Thurlow? Massachusetts represented. Good to see everybody. All right, we're going to get started here shortly. Let me get my stuff situated. Hope everyone's having a good beginning of the week. I got a big travel week coming up next week. Next week, actually flying out to a mastermind, a bunch of super duper dudes. We're all getting together for 3 or 4 days in Florida. Some of y'all know some of these guys. I guarantee you, some of you all know us as a result of them. Some of you know me as a result of a gentleman named Patrick Riddle. Okay, and I'm going to be meeting Patrick out there and other people like that. So we're going to spend 3 days like strategizing, masterminding, planning, see what everyone's doing, what ideas you have, what's working, what's not working, real estate and mixture of some other businesses. Then we're flying back here for a couple days, and then we're taking a trip. Where are we taking a trip to? Oh, we're going to go just travel through Arizona and Nevada, and we're going with some friends for a little bit, and we're going to just rent a car and bum around to these amazing places out on the West Coast. For those of you that kind of follow me a little bit, know that my wife and I did that a couple weeks ago. We went to California and did the Highway 1 trip. We flew in San Diego, rented a convertible Mustang, and we did that amazing drive from San Diego to Napa Valley. Actually spent a week doing that. It was unbelievably cool. So we liked it so much, we're like, well, let's grab some friends and do another one of those touring trips. So So we did. So that was cool. All right, well, listen, let's get rolling, guys. It's Tuesday Night Live. Thanks for being here. We got a little bit of a mixture here today, okay? The topic that I'm going to cover with you all here coming up here in just a little bit is about money. I mean, you know, some of you guys are interested, like what's the latest and greatest when it comes to money? What money's easier? What money's harder? How do I get access to money and all that? And so I'm going to talk to you about that. I'm going to talk to you as it relates to you just getting money. I'm going to talk to you as it relates to like using our money here at Partner Driven and things like that. So we're going to talk about money today. And if you're in real estate and you don't think money is important, you're like in the wrong business. Okay. I don't care what technique, what strategy, I don't care what you're doing. Money is important. And money is important at different stages. You know, you may be thinking, oh, well, I wholesale. Money's not important. BS. Because guess what? The people that are buying from you use money. So if you're the only one who can identify a deal, but you got no one in the back end knows how to structure money correctly, it ain't going to work. So money is important at all levels, at all techniques and all strategies. We're going to talk about that. But before then, I'm going to, in just a minute or so, I'm going to bring an existing partner on board. We thought that'd be cool. We haven't had partners here for a couple of weeks, so we're going to bring an existing partner on board, a really cool dude, and he and I are going to just chat for a little bit. But before we do that, I just want to start out the way I always do and really address you all that are listening to us tonight and or that may be listening to us in a recorded format somewhere down the road. First of all, thank you for being here. I know there's many other things you could be doing with your time. I keep on moving my chair because that light behind me looks like I have a halo, right? So anyway, thanks for being here tonight. And as always, there's two types of people. Like Tuesday nights is the only time we really do this, where we do a general mix of the people that are here. Some of y'all here, you guys are already our partners. You're like all in. Okay, you're all in and you're part of the partner program. You're part of the partner family, and we're so glad you guys are here. And this is just another way for you to connect and reconnect with us. As a partner, you have the ability to connect with us privately on a daily basis. Obviously, as a partner, you have our technology. As a partner, you have our infrastructure. You have our back office. As a partner, you have access to money if you needed it. As a partner, you get help with construction. As a partner, you get it all. By the way, if you're a partner here tonight and what I'm saying, you're like, what? I do? Or I didn't know I had this, means you're not plugged in and you need to plug in, okay? We're starting to realize that as an organization here at Partner Driven, that we offer so much to our partners. A ton of our partners don't even know we have it. Like we'll be talking to somebody or I'll be talking to someone and they're like, oh yeah, I need this. I'm like, hey, yeah, we have that. So as a partner, make sure you're fully plugged into our system, our back office, our training, our lead structure, our technology. You have to, because you get it all, okay? Doesn't mean you have to use it all, but make sure you're aware of everything we have. So when you do have the need for these tools, you have it. Some of y'all here tonight, you are not our partners, but you're checking us out. You are checking us out. You may have heard about what it means to be a partner. You may have already been talking to somebody in our organization about becoming a partner, but I get it. You just need to get more comfortable. You may need to get some more information. You may need to just see who it is we are. Like, is there really a Peter Vexelman? Is there really a Julie? Is there other partners? You know, have these guys ever done a real estate deal themselves? So you guys are like, I call it the dating stage with us, right? You're just checking us out. We want to see if we're a good fit. I get it. Glad you're here. This will give you a chance to get more comfortable with the model. But I will tell you, kind of like, I know this comes out wrong every single time, but like if you keep on checking us out over and over, like either do it or don't do it. Okay, because like it's very simple to figure out what we do on our part with our partners. Okay, it's like black and white. We literally partner on every aspect of real estate deal making. That's it. I mean, that is like when people say, well, what do you get? I need to turn my PC down. It's hot. Sorry about that. It's so hot here. People say, well, what do you get if you're a partner? Well, here's what you get. You get pretty much unlimited coaching and mentoring. As a partner, you get access to our latest technology, deal driven. As a partner, we like literally skip trace leads for you and pick up the cost of that, which is in today's marketplace, you got to have that. As a partner, let's say a deal, you get all our back office support, like closing office support, contract, paperwork support, you name it, you get it. You get, if a deal, let's say needs function of money, needs money, you get that. Our construction team even has the ability to help our partners fix them. We put them in the market, sell it, split the profits down the middle. So, so you just kind of like, this is it. That's what being a partner is. And if you're not yet a partner and you need to check us out even further, then all you have to do is go to www.partnerdriven.com. That's www.partnerdriven.com. Or for those of you that are going to be like, okay, I'm ready. Let's roll. Let's make some money. Tonight, for hanging on all the way through our webinar tonight, I'm going to give you out a telephone number of somebody that's like going to be on standby, ready to get you started like as early as tonight. And so that's a reason to stay on. If you're ready to get rolling, you will have access to somebody tonight. So if you're a partner, you know what I'm going to tell you, right? You're going to reset, you're going to recharge, you're going to recommit, and you're going to take it up a notch tonight. And if you're not a partner, thanks for being here. Let's become a partner. Okay. Well, first of all, I want to bring like a real life partner on. People sometimes will say, well, are there really partners? I mean, is there really deals going on? Is there like action behind the scenes going on? Is anyone closing anything? So the resounding answer is yes. And believe it or not, well, this is not too much even of a stretch for anyone to understand this, but we're doing more partner driven deals than we ever have. Since like from the first day of partner driven model to where we are today, we're doing more now than we ever have, for two reasons. One, we're just getting better. Like we literally are getting better at the partner model. The staff is getting, better. The back office is getting better. So we ourselves at the partner driven level are getting better. But number two, it's the world we're in right now, right? It's the pandemic that's taking place out there, and it's creating motivation. So you don't have to like understand anything about real estate, but to know when there's certain pressure points like hit in life, those are called motivating factor, and motivating factors in person's lives and people's lives ultimately is what creates good deals, right? And we have a manufactured one right now. We have a pandemic going on, right? Manufactured from a standpoint, like 8 months ago, none of us even thought about this pressure point, right? Before this, the motivating points were like divorces, sickness, health changes, kids moving in, kids moving out, job losses. Those are the pain points that created motivated sellers. Now there's one that's just coming from like zero to like literally, spread like wildfire. It's another big pain point. So right now for us as investors, we are there helping as many people as we can get out of situations they don't want to be in. So it's a really good time to be an investor right now. All right. So that's that. I'm going to bring one of our partners on board. Hopefully he sat patiently through this whole introduction I just went to. Alton, you there, buddy?
I'm here.
Hey, crank your camera on if you can. There he is. Alton Nicely, how are you?
Great, you?
Oh, super duper. First of all, thank you for being here. Well, I think my office just contacted you either last night or this morning. And so thank you for being here. By the way, that is an example of the partner-driven family that we're building here. It's like everyone, it sounds goofy. And if you know me, this is like not my style, but it's like literally everybody helping everybody. In the partner family, that's one of the big to-dos. Everybody helps. So we said, my office called Alton and said, hey, you mind jumping in for a couple minutes? And here we are. So Alton, we know you at Partner Driven. The rest of the world doesn't know you. So tell us a little bit about Alton pre all this, pre-Partner Driven, pre-real estate and all that.
Well, I always wanted to be in real estate and dabbled around with it about 20 years ago. Had a few partners that didn't pan out, so I kind of put it on the back burner until about 4 years ago. I bought a course, went through it, but kept working. And this winter, I decided, this last winter, early spring, I decided now it's time to do real estate, and I just quit everything and dug into it. Found you, and I'm at it. It's a little slower than I'd like to have it going, but it's going, and I'm very excited. So I'm going to keep doing it.
I love it. So you and I have had offline conversations. So again, I know you. The staff here knows you. But from someone, from your standpoint, been down this road before in real estate, even been down this road before. Sounds like with some other partnerships, right? So then now you decided to re-engage in real estate. So from someone who has experience like you did, someone that even went down the partner route, what initially, and like, what was the trigger point for you to say, okay, this feels like the right organization?
Well, money was part of it. I invested real heavy in a helium company, and I don't have any cash, so I needed a source where I could go out and start doing it without any money, and that's why I joined you.
That seems to be like, the more partners, the longer we do this, the more that I talk to, that seems to be like this, the number one thing that is the number one reason people get into this for. That's like the attraction, oh, I have access to someone else's money. Talk a little bit about overall your experience once you got started though. Like what are some things what do you think our biggest value to you is now?
Well, I was scared. Years ago, I had more guts to do things, and now I struggle with that. And with you behind me, where I can get all the paperwork, anything I need, it just makes life a lot easier.
That is exactly what everyone says. Maybe not 100% of people. This is what an overwhelming majority of people, almost the carrot seems to be when people see us, they see us, and almost immediately the value proposition for everybody becomes, oh, wow, I have access to, Peter's money. But once they get in and really start doing, like, I know you and I just did a deal a week or so ago. And by the way, did you get your check yet?
Yeah, got it.
Oh, by the way, Alton's old school. You are literally, I'm not kidding you, Alton. You're the only partner I have ever cut a check to, I think. Like, everyone's like, give me wire or pay this. Alton's like, no, just mail me a check.
Okay, the next one I don't need. I just wanted the first one to frame it.
I like it. I like it because now as you're saying that, that's exactly right. Some other partners I have mailed checks to, and that is exactly for that reason. Because, some people like to frame their checks. Some people want to take pictures of them and all of that. But my point is this, the initial attraction for almost everybody seems to be, wow, access to capital. I need capital in real estate. Everybody understands that. But what people really, really find the value in once they get in almost, and by the way, I was complimenting my whole team with that, is the support they get. The interaction with the back office, the paperwork. I like the way it was interesting the way you said it. You said it, you used to be more aggressive. Well, let me tell you something. Real estate is one of those few businesses where you don't necessarily want to be aggressive. I was aggressive when I got started. And you know where that aggression got me? Got me to zero. Like I lost everything and almost made myself homeless. So real estate is one of those businesses that you do not want to be too aggressive. Real estate is one of those businesses that you want to just, you don't want to just shoot off the hip and things like that. So that's probably a good thing. Well, hey, since we kind of brought up this check, let's talk a little bit. Tell me a little about the deal you just did. Tell me how you worked together with the team, kind of what, transpired. Walk us through a real life deal.
Well, I found the seller, and I tried to negotiate with him on price, and he wouldn't move. And he had a mortgage on it, and I know why he didn't move. So I told him, well, give me a couple minutes. I'm going out truck, get on my computer, and I'll check the numbers. And the numbers look good. So I got my realtor to give me comps, and I wrote a contract right on the spot, and for exactly what he wanted for it, and got my realtor to get comps, and the numbers look good. So I sent the pictures and the contract back to you, and they said it's a wholesale deal. And about a week later, we had more than we had it listed for.
I love it. I love it. So let's dissect a little bit, a couple of things you said. How was the seller found?
Amplify my business.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, it's a relationship we have here with a very strong marketing team that Alton used to generate leads from. And this doesn't happen very often where like literally no negotiations needs to be done. What do you think was the motivating factor for this seller to create that kind of a discount up front? I mean, like literally just boom.
I'm not sure why he wanted to get out of it, but he seemed to be very motivated to sell his house, but he needed a certain amount to walk away from it. And he was, I think he had health issues, and he wanted to move back to his mom's house, whatever the deal was. So everything just worked out great.
Okay, and by the way, Alton follows our process to a T, and he's just kind of rattling some things he does, but this is how we here at Partner Driven teach it. Okay, you got to have your right paperwork. By the way, did you utilize our paperwork, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay, exactly. So the back office kicked you out of contract, right?
Right.
Before you went there. You got it locked on to, what did we end up buying it for?
100,000.
100,000 even? I'm gonna write that down. Okay, so we put it under contract for 100. Then Alton followed the partner-driven process to a T, because we always want to get validation in real estate. Even myself, 22 years in the business, you trust but verify. So everything along the way has to be verified, and so we utilize outside agents to do that. So you got an agent or two to validate that the numbers were in line, right?
Well, I talked to the agent in Cleveland, Ohio.
Was it one of ours?
Yeah, I can't think what her name is now, but I called her, and she said, "Well, I'll give you a realtor that I trust." So I got him, and he was excited right away to do the comps, and he didn't know much about wholesaling, but I told him, well, you just talk to Partner Driven, and gave the numbers or the emails that he had to do. And being he was a friend of the realtor in Cleveland that works with you, they accepted his expertise. So that's what we used, and everything went real smooth.
Alton, you're like this ultimately cool dude. You're like describing a deal. We made money. You're just like this and this. I love it. But let me point out something, a couple of things that Alton's brought up that's huge. So one of the things that we pride ourselves at the Partner Driven family is that it is a family atmosphere here. And just like any other family, the goal is to have everybody help each other. So what happened in this case, what Alton's describing, is we had another realtor, because we needed a realtor to pre-list the property. We needed a realtor to give their opinion of the property. So we here, and I do believe it was Tori from Cleveland, who's actually
that's the name.
So we connected Alton with one of our existing realtors that we've done deals with in the past, that we basically, boom, we trust, we feel great about. She then took the time to connect Alton with a realtor where he is, okay? So realtor was able to validate the deal. Now you said something, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but did this second realtor, who did not understand necessarily, he understood numbers, but maybe not like strategies, like wholesaling, did he get connected with someone in our office?
Yeah, I told him he had to connect with you to understand the process, because I told him I didn't know quite enough about it to really explain it, but they will explain it to him. All he has to do is get a hold of your office and talk to Mary. I forget who I told him to talk to, but he did that, and he figured it out.
See, this is another very big process. And guys, understand my point of view here. I'm bragging on the team we have here. Okay. So what happened is this realtor who validated the numbers did not understand the strategy. And even Alton, I mean, you said it yourself, so I'll just repeat what you said. You didn't even exactly understand how to explain the strategy we're going to do in this deal. So the realtor was reconnected with our home office here with the local team. I'm sure he probably talked to Laura or Mary or Juhi or Ivan. I'm not sure who he talked to, but he talked to somebody on our team here. They explained to him the process of what it means to pre-list something before you take possession of it. And so we got it for 100. What did he list it for?
130.
130. What did we sell it for? It's been a whole week.
Wait a minute. Maybe it was 120. And then it sold for 122.1.
Okay. So we listed it for 100, bought it for 100, got it for 100, listed for 120, and got above asking pretty quick.
Right. 1 week.
1 week. And that right there is exactly why the partner-driven model works. Okay. Everybody supports everybody. Alton, 100% critical to the process. 100%. Okay. He got the lead. He ran with the lead. He identified a motivated seller. He executed brilliantly on the ground, because that's how real estate works. It's still a local business. This is why we at Partner Driven need partners all over the United States, because any way you slice it, real estate is a local business. Okay. Alton needed us to help him execute. He didn't mind doing the legwork. Nobody in life who wants to be successful ever minds doing legwork. Only people that don't want to do the legwork are the ones that really aren't serious about being successful. So we here at Partner Driven utilize our experience, our knowledge, our techniques, the rest of the Partner Driven family for resources and contacts and all this. So we basically take our partners like Alton by the hand and in turn walk them through the whole process. And that right there really, this conversation that Alton and I just have really is the partner-driven model. This is it. Everyone needs everybody. It's not just like our partners need us. Make no mistake about it. We need our partners. But the way I always finish that statement, at least in my opinion, our partners probably need us more than we need them. So, Alton, super duper job. Congratulations. I really am. I'm really proud of you. It looks like you're in a car, so you pulled over to do this. So I really do appreciate it.
I got another obligation. I got to meet a guy, and I told him I'm going to be late, so I'm sitting in the parking lot.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate it a ton. I'm going to let you go, but thank you, Alton. You're a super duper dude. I appreciate you postponing or pushing back an appointment because of this. So I'm going to let you go. I'll finish off here. Thanks, Alton.
Thanks a lot. We'll see you.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. So that's the partner-driven model, okay? It's everyday people doing deals as a result of what we bring to the table, the knowledge and experience, the infrastructure, like Alton was connected with Tori and totally unrelated. By the way, I don't know if you guys caught this transaction. Tori as far as I know, probably made zero money on this transaction. Okay. But because she's part of the family, because we were able to provide things for her along the way and listings and other opportunities, okay, Tori understands that's how a family works together. So Tori then developed or connected Alton with another relationship who then was able to kind of finish off the deal. Okay. And so very, very important. There's a lot of moving pieces to the real estate business, a lot of moving pieces. And if you don't understand how to put them all together, this is, you know, sometimes I myself dumb down this business, and I dumb it down too much sometimes. Many times you hear me describe this business, it's like see deal, do deal, see deal, do deal. No, not really. It's like see deal, then climb Mount Everest, and then hopefully do a deal. See next deal, then another Mount Everest, and then hopefully do that deal. So anyway, thank you. It was good stuff. All right, so let's go into the second topic today. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about money and the reality of money. And look, I understand just because you're our partner, you know, that we have partners that like utilize this all the way through the process until it's time to close in the deal, and then they do their own deals. They have their own money, they have their own financing, they have maybe access to some private capital. And you know what? We love that. We don't discourage that whatsoever. Some people think, well, gosh, Pete, if I'm a partner, does that mean I have to close every deal with you? No. Well, Pete, what happens if I'm a partner and you help me generate the lead? I tap into your like coaching and back office to kind of work that deal, and then I decide to keep the deal for myself. Surely that cannot be allowed. No, it is. It's absolutely allowed. You know, even some of our top partners that we've done, you know, tremendous amount of deals with have along the way cherry picked and done their own deals. So my point is, even if you're a partner, you should always understand the state of money. And obviously some of y'all who are listening to this aren't even partners, and you might be doing your own deals. And so you should definitely understand what's taking place in the real estate money. Okay. So what happened is this: when the pandemic hit, it literally flipped the whole industry upside down from a money perspective. Okay. Because real estate has always been, and continues to be, by the way, very heavily funded towards what's known as hard money or private money and things like that. There's really two types of money out there. There's what's called institutional money, and there's what's known as like private money, hard money, family office money, things like that. Institutional money is what everybody outside of real estate tends to use, right? That's like you go to your local bank, you apply for a loan, and you get a mortgage on a house that you're going to then move into. Okay. Institutions are basically, they're institutions. They're banks, they're mortgage companies. They're what like everybody knows of financing to be. Institutional money tend not to like investment world for a couple reasons. Now, not that they don't lend to investors, they do, but that's not their bullseye, for one very, very basic but a major reason. Institutions always have to look at from a perspective of what happens if something goes bad, right? Like what happens if this loan defaults, or you know, the customer stops paying money. Well, then that institution has to take the property back, right? They have to take the collateral back. Now, a bank doesn't mind taking back a house that a family just lived in, right? Because it's probably a pretty house, it's probably a kept up house and stuff. What do we as investors go after? We as investors go after fixer-uppers, houses overgrown with weeds, things that need work, you know, very specific type of real estate. A bank doesn't mind taking back a pretty house because all they do is put it back in the market, sell it, recoup whatever they can recoup, hopefully the mortgage plus, and truck on, make the next loan. You can't do that with a house that needs $40,000 worth of work, right? That house, in order for you to really maximize its potential, for you to capitalize on, you got to fix it. Banks aren't in the business of fixing properties. They're in the business of lending on properties, but they're not in the business of fixing properties and things like that. So institutional capital, more times than not, is used by conventional buyers for conventional, what I call vanilla deals. On the other side of the equation, there is this all other world, the investor world, the hard money, private money. You know, you get some money from your parents, you raise, 20 different ways of doing it. Okay. That's totally different money. And this money is, when this money gets given out, it's even under, it's even underwritten in different ways. Like when institutions underwrite, they really look at the borrower. We want to have a good borrower, engineer, doctor, accountant, attorney. When this money gets to be underwritten, it's underwritten different ways. More emphasis is put on the what's backing the deal, the property itself. Okay, the collateral becomes very, very important. Collateral is important here. Okay, but collateral becomes even more important on the hard money side and things like that. And so, because it's two different sources of money, the way it comes to banks, the way it comes to, let's say, hard money lenders are from two different sources. What happened when the pandemic hit, right? When the pandemic hit, this private money, this hard money got flipped almost totally upside down. Because what did the pandemic create all of a sudden? It created uncertainty. It created motivation, not just like individual levels. It created motivation at the highest levels out there, right? It created a need for liquidity for a lot of institutions and all this. So what happened on this end, why the investor world got flipped upside down, when you understand how this money comes into play, like hard money and things like that, it almost always could be tracked back to almost the same sources. Okay? It might go through some stages, but almost always it is tracked back to the exact same sources. And those are like hedge funds. Hedge funds, in the end, back almost all legitimate hard money out there. One way or another, it originates at the hedge fund end. Well, how do hedge funds get their money? They raise it. They raise it from like wealthy individuals. They raise it from high net worth people. They just, they raise their own capital. Okay. Well, when that pandemic hit, a ton of these hedge funds got what are known as capital calls. Basically, the people that gave them money to give to us as investors, they did what everybody else started doing. They started raising their hands saying, hey, I got to get my money back. I know I gave you $3 million, but I need it back because I don't know what's going to happen in my own life, in my own business, in my own job. So these hedge funds had tremendous amount of pressure put on them when the pandemic hit, and still continue to do. And so what happens, everything, the trickle down, right? So guess who got totally thrown upside down? The frontline people, the people that were lending this money out, the hard money guys. They got totally flipped side down, because before, all they do is they have a relationship with hedge funds. They're like, hey, I got a deal here. Hedge funds are like, okay, I'll fund the deal. And all of a sudden they're like, okay, I got a deal here. And no one's picking up the phone to hedge funds. And even the hedge funds that stayed in the game totally started changing the rules. Like before, they would lend, let's say maybe with 5 or 10% down. Now they wanted 20 or 30% down. Before they would lend to somebody who's never done a deal or maybe done 1 or 2 deals. Now they only wanted to lend to people that have done 10 plus deals. And so, to make a long story short, what basically happened, the pandemic flipped that whole industry out. I had friends that were in this industry like for over decades that literally got wiped out like that. I mean, literally, they had, before the pandemic, they had 30 or 40 loans in the pipeline. A month after pandemic, not one of those loans funded. They had nothing new coming in. and they're backing the funds were basically putting them through hoops. They were just, they couldn't jump through. Matter of fact, I had a good buddy of mine call today. I've known this gentleman for 20 some years in this business. And he said, yeah, they just, even when they started coming back somewhat, even when they started coming back, as things started to settle in, he said, Pete, it's not even close to being back. So the reality of the situation is, for us as investors, although it's very obvious there's more opportunities than ever, right? There's more opportunities than ever. There is, believe it or not, the money is getting very difficult to do. You have to have more experience. You better have more out-of-pocket money. Some of their rates went up, from 10% interest to 12% interest. Some of their points went up. Some of them are now requiring reserves. So they'll give you the money, but you better be able to show 8 months of reserves of payments in your checking account, right? And their underwriting got tougher. Like before, remember, it's very much an asset-based loan, meaning they look at the property. Well, now, remember, institutions look at more individuals, private, hard money, stuff like that looks more at the property. Now, what we're seeing out there is a lot of these funds, private funds, are underwriting just like you're buying a regular home. They want to see a couple of years of tax returns. They want to see 6 months of bank statements. They want to see reserves and all this. So the reality for us as investors, and anyone who's investing right now knows this. Like if you're doing deals right now, and if you borrowed pre-pandemic and you're borrowing post-pandemic, unless you got some whooper-duper deal worked out, you're seeing it. You're seeing it, that things have changed. And so what that's caused is not only for the hard money guys to be knocked out of the industry, it's actually caused a lot of investors to be knocked out of the industry. Okay. A lot of investors got literally knocked out of the industry because their money supply just ran out, or the requirements became, such that they couldn't even get deals anymore. Okay. So that's what's happening at that end. And that's almost all short-term money, right? Because what do we do as investors? We buy, fix, sell, buy, fix, sell. Or maybe we buy, do a little bit cosmetic and put it back in the market. There's also private money on the long term. Like if you want a rental, most people think, well, if you want to hold on to a rental, you have to go to a bank because only they make long-term loans. Well, that's not true. Private individuals, private funds, they also do short, long-term loans, like 20, 30-year loans. That's also been just totally flipped upside down. So that's another area where it got tougher. You hear this. Let me tell you where it got easier, by the way, since we're talking about money and money is important. Also, it actually got easier on this side with banks, right? Now it actually is easier here because it's cheaper money, right? Interest rates are at an all-time low. They're like, I literally heard a bank, and this is a big bank like Chase or B of A. I just read an article. They're thinking of having like negative interest rates. Can you imagine that? Like negative, right? That's like unheard of. That's like stuff that happens in foreign countries. But this money got easier. So what does that mean to us as investors? That means there's more buyers for our properties. Okay, there's actually more buyers for our properties. And I mean, we have some partners that we're doing deals with. I'm just constantly I'm like, anything changed? Nothing. They're like, no, we can't keep the stuff on the market. We bring a property out, boom, because this money is really affected by interest rates, right? Long-term, like 20, 30. And so now if you can get an interest rate, 3-4%, people all over the place are jumping in, right? And they want to do that. So this money for us as investors, tougher. This money for people we sell deals to got easier, okay? Where else did it get tough? It got tough, let's say, for an average wholesaler. Some people say, well, gosh, I'm just wholesaling. Money doesn't affect me. Not true, because your buyers, as I mentioned this when we got started today, your buyers use money. So for a lot of wholesalers got knocked out during this period. Why? Because they were utilizing the same buyers they were before. You know, before they were flipping it to this guy or this young lady, and this guy and this young lady was using a hard money lender. Well, because the whole industry, hard money industry got flipped upside down, all of a sudden their buyers disappeared. So a lot of wholesalers either got wiped out, kicked out of the business, or are struggling right now. You know, they might be putting deals out there. You might be looking like, no, man, I'm watching this guy's putting the exact same amount of flyers out. Yeah, but what you don't know is he's got a lot less buyers. And so he's not closing deals as much. So it's like this whole maze, right? It's this whole maze that got put together. And you really have to know how to correctly navigate through this. This is why we here at Partner Driven are so excited about being able to take conventional strategies, let's say a wholesale strategies, okay? Take a wholesale strategy and actually flip the strategy upside down and bypass the investors that need cash, that use, let's say, hard money, all right? So what does that mean? Remember, I just said this industry hurt a lot of wholesalers because their buyers that used to buy from them would borrow hard money got wiped out or got really flipped upside down, so their buyers disappear. So they might be putting properties out there, they're just not closing anything because their buyers got wiped out. So we here at Partner Driven took it to the next level. We already actually were at that level already, but now the pandemic has really made this thing a bullseye. Let's say on our wholesale strategy, right? We have the ability, and this is actually what happened with Alton. I don't know how many of you guys like caught what took place in his deal, but we actually had a real estate agent sell that property, sell that deal, right? Well, when you get to a realtor level, that realtor is able to expose that property, not to your usual, 50 or 100 buyers. They're able to expose that buyer, that property to the whole world. And here's, in the middle of all this pandemic, hard money getting upside down, but guess what did not get put upside down? What actually is, there's more of it than anything else, cash. There's been cash sitting on the sidelines waiting for something to happen. Like not necessarily this pandemic, but they were waiting for things to happen because when things happen, it clears the air. So new cash comes in in droves and start buying. You hear things like, the real investors make their money when there's blood in the street. So because we here at Partner Driven, we're able to literally flip the wholesale model upside down and say, forget the first tier buyer that needs financing. We're going to put together finance. We're going to go to the person that just has cash. And not only are we going to go to a person that has cash, we're going to go to a person that has cash that wasn't even buying before. These individuals, these investors, these institutions weren't even on anyone's buyer's list. They weren't even in existence. They weren't even in the game. So you had to identify them very quickly. Guess what? There's no quicker way to identify them than through the MLS system, right? So we here at Partner Driven were able to pivot extremely fast when this pandemic hit, when all our investor money got flipped all over the place, got all convoluted, started creating issues, but we flipped everything upside down because we understood that the model works. The real estate business was taken off. So we were able to strategically move things around and start doing the exact same strategy we were doing before, but now doing at a much higher level in a way that nobody else was really doing. And by the way, guys, almost no one's still doing it, because in order to do things the way we're doing them now, we had to inadvertently get prepared. Like we inadvertently some years back developed a totally different contract that almost any investor uses. Did we do it because we knew there's going to be a pandemic and we're going to need to change with it? No, we did it by accident. We just you know what? We need to take our model to the next level. It just so happened when this pandemic hit, it's like the stars aligned for us. The stars literally aligned from us. So here's the reality. As an investor, right now, terrific time to be in the business. Tonight's not the night to explain it. You should just understand that. There's motivation like we've never seen. Tremendous amount of pent up. By the way, people say, well, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Anyone that tells me what do you think is going to happen, I tell them, I don't know what's going to happen. Like in the market, or is it going to go up? Nobody knows. But if I was a betting man, I'd say that it's only going to, the pent up motivation, it's only going to get higher and higher. So from everything we're seeing, from the deals we're doing, from the contracts we're putting out, it's just like cruise. So that's reality. We were inadvertently prepared for the industry to be flipped upside down. Number two, we here at Partner Driven level, we're also able to align ourselves. Because remember, guess what? My money sources got flipped upside down too. I was one of those investors that was going to the hedge funds too. Okay. But because of my 22-year history, because of that, because of my 22-year history, because of my performances because, I'm the real deal, they didn't change the rules on me. So now it's like we were able to flip it right down from the strategy point. I was able to retain all of the money sources. So our money sources did not get the legs cut from underneath them. So all this to say, and I know for some of you, what I was saying is probably got a little bit confusing, what this hedge fund, private money, this, that, all this to say, I know we here at Partner Driven are more aligned for the future than we ever have been because of the numbers we're seeing. But I really think we're more aligned for future better than ever because of what's taking place in the economy right now. It's like somehow by accident, we were able to put all the pieces together before all this crap hit the fan. We were able to come up with technology that could take an investor off the streets and allow him to build his business from home. I was able to develop relationships with money sources who did not budge when everything got flipped upside down, but they budged with everyone else. We were able to put together paperwork like contracts that allowed us to allow us to do things that right now we're absolutely capitalizing on. It's like every step of the way. It's like literally for the last number of years, we were building ourselves up. From the team perspective, is an amazing, phenomenal team that we have here. Alton could attest to that. It's like we literally we were building for this. It's weird. Like, who builds stuff for a pandemic? No one. It happens by accident. It's totally by accident. I'm just gonna sit here and take credit for all of it. It's just totally aligned. And so the ultimate answer of how is money right now and what's the easiest way to get money right now and how do you survive in today's economy and world? I think we're the answer. Really, partner-driven model is the answer for how to do this thing right now. It just really is. I've always preached that it was before this thing happened. But now that it's taken place, I don't know how a brand new investor right now could do their first deal, honestly. With so many factors in play, I think it's extremely difficult. It's always been difficult. Now you got to take it up a notch. Okay. I don't know the person whose money got cut. What's he going to do? Because all hedge funds did it. It's not like just one did it and the rest are like, we're going to make it easier. No, it's across the board cut. So everything I was talking about today really happened at a global level. And you almost have to find someone at the macro level, like partner driven, like someone who carved out a little niche, and you got to align yourself. So guys, if you're a partner, recharge, reset, recommit, let's go. Got to do it. You got to just step. You got it all. You have access to everything I was talking about today. Everything that Alton had access to do the deal that he did, you all have access to. So let's get serious and let's go to the next level. Okay. If you're not yet a partner, make a decision. I mean, why hang out? It's like LeBron James keeps on showing up and watching basketball. He's going to play. I don't think anyone just hangs out in real estate just to hang out. It's not like a sexy business just to pop on all these webinars. Most people that want to be in real estate, they really, you got to do it. They want to do it, right? Nobody like wants to just study it. You know, you study history, you study exotic places. Real estate is not one of those things you just study because it's just so fascinating. You're in it because you want to do it. You want to get the results. So I encourage you, if you're ready to get the results, let's do it. If you need some more information about the partner-driven model, just go to www.partnerdriven.com. If you're ready to go tonight, like literally ready to make a commitment to your future tonight, I want you to take down this number. It's for Erica. She's one of our team members on standby tonight. Her number, and all this I'm sure is going to be all over your chats. Her number is 470-451-2474. 470-451-2474. And Erica's on standby. So guys, as always, I enjoyed it. I loved it. I love doing these Tuesday nights. I mean, I think it's a great way for us to showcase who we are, both to our partners and to non-partners. But be back the exact same time, the exact same place next week, and we'll have another hopefully really cool topic for you guys. Other than that, I'm signing off. I enjoyed it. Thanks, guys.